there's never been a moment where I said, I don't want to teach in urban schools, I want to go into the suburbs and teach.
For years I worked in advertising and in marketing, and I'd reached a point in my life where I wanted to do more.
I believe that there's a vast difference in education for socioeconomic backgrounds that I want to change. I want to be a passionate teacher even though I'm not teaching in a suburban school with well-off children. I want to be passionate about teaching. I want to bring them to this level where they can go to college even though they come from a family where that wasn't ever a possibility.
The classroom is so alive and so sparkling and vital. These kids have such different viewpoints about the world coming from such different backgrounds.
The process that our students, our future teachers, our students at Metro go through is that the first 2 years, more or less, they go into their major. Once they are almost completing those first 2 years, they start taking their first courses in the education program, in the secondary education program. And they're going to be, their first course, they're going to be placed in a school, one of our urban schools that we already have a partnership with. And they're under the supervision of a master teacher, and they will be observing the students in that school and observing the teaching methods of that school. And then later on, and when they're almost finished, when they're finished with their all the courses they have to take for student teaching, then they become student teachers in one of our urban schools, and they're putting into practice all the things they learned in their courses that they took in secondary ed. It takes a special type of person, and that's what we want to train.
Morning for me, I wake up at about 5. I drink my coffee. That's one of the first things I do is I make my coffee, eat my breakfast, then I go through the whole trying to make myself look presentable for a day facing 120 students. And then I wake up the twins at around 6:30. Sometimes they get up a little earlier. So around 6 or 6:30, wake up the twins, get them dressed, diapers changed, big hugs. I usually give them a drink of milk or something like that because I don't like to send them to school on an empty stomach. And I drop them off at daycare at 7, and then I head over here to North, and I usually get here around 7:20, 7:25. So it's a tight morning, but mornings are good. Mornings are fun. They're a good time.
Our kids get more adult interaction because these college students are here working with those kids. At the same time, we think we're going to help train the next generation of urban teachers.
Today we were going over images from slavery and abolitionists, and I want to get their personal feeling. I want them to connect with the content, for them to make a connection with the past. Therefore, they can understand what they're living in their present and change the future. Genuinely caring about the kids is, the kids can see through you if you're fake, and they know it. You have to be real with them, and if you don't genuinely care about children, you probably shouldn't be in this profession. I knew I wanted to be a teacher since I was in 2nd grade, and we were filling out little pages about ourselves, the About Me page, and I was asked what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I knew right then and there it was teacher. Boxing, this is interesting. I actually got in it for kids, troubled kids. It was an after-school program that my friend ran, and just kind of fell in love with the sport and fell in love with exercising, and I'm really not a confrontational kind of person. I'm really relaxed and I'm not angry, so.
It does take a lot of discipline to be fight ready. It's physically and emotionally draining, and a lot of fighting actually is mental. You have to be in a mental state that's clear and concise and focused. In school, I think it's the same thing. If you're not on top of your homework, on top of your daily assignments, on top of your reading or anything else, you're going to fall behind and not be ready for life. So this is me taking care of me.
At Metro, the best thing it did for me is it gave me the opportunity to go into schools and observe. I observed for 2 semesters. Then it helped me get into a high school to student teach. And I was able to apply all the things I had learned, that all the teachers had taught me at Metro. I was able to apply them in my student teaching.
My training, the longer I'm in the classroom, the more I'm realizing how important it really was. I'm understanding how to deal with struggling students, and the training has really made that doable. And it's also made me confident enough that I'm comfortable in the classroom. I feel like I know what I'm doing.
They set the program up to where not only do you have textbooks to back you up, but you have these teachers that have been out there. They know what they're doing.
As a principal, it is essential to me that teachers entering this school, and specifically teachers who are new to the teaching field, come with the tools to be able to impact students' lives on the first day. And through a program, this type of program allows that to happen.
There was a student that came from a Burmese camp, a refugee camp. He actually went to Thailand, and he could not speak maybe 5 words of English. And I took a lot of one-on-one individual time with him to practice reading, and now he's in the higher level. He's ready to almost be mainstreamed into ESL, and just seeing the improvement and seeing him read. And he picks up books at the library. We go on Thursdays, and he picks out books to take home and practice. And it's rewarding, because for that kid, he has a chance now. Being literate is, the only way you're gonna get through life.
It's so exciting and so comforting to be with you guys, like to be in a program like this where we can be together, and we know that we're gonna have that for, an additional amount of time.
At least 5 times in the semester that they're student teaching, they get together in groups and they have a seminar, and they discuss the issues or concerns or problems or the benefits or the successes.
It's almost like pulling teeth to get them to communicate their ideas, and it's a fear of the class, or a fear of being laughed at perhaps.
And you learn a lot by reflecting, by looking back. What went well, what did not go well, and how can I improve this?
As the bell was ringing and they were all packing up and ready to leave, they both wanted to continue discussing the story with me. And it wasn't even a teaching moment, it was just a connection moment.
And it's a peer relationship. They're learning from each other, and I think that's a very good thing to do.
Many of these kids look different. Many of them talk different from people in suburbs. They're not used to that. But they're the exact same kids as everyone else. They have the exact same paranoias. They have the exact same insecurities. They have very similar strengths. Once you get past that, these kids are the same, and they have the same needs and wants and desires, and we can relate to them just as we would relate to any other child.
Yes, this is probably one of the most challenging things that you're ever going to do, is work in this setting. And sometimes it can be heartbreaking, sometimes it can be very difficult. But along with something being so challenging, the rewards are also just as great as the challenges. I, really am putting my heart and myself into my work, and it's making a huge impact on these students' lives. There can't be a better feeling than that.
I've been here at this school long enough student teaching that the students now kind of know my name. And it is so satisfying and actually gratifying that when I'm walking down the halls, they say, "Hey, Mr. Rick." And that sounds so simplistic, but it's like I'm actually part of their community now.
I leave my job feeling really happy. I know that I've had a good day. I feel that I'm helping these students learn. I get a definite sense of satisfaction. And I don't have to worry about my job being tedious. It is fun, it is exciting, every class is completely different. And these kids, because they've had such different backgrounds, they're gonna listen to a lesson and they're gonna pull something else out of it I didn't even intend for them to pull out of it. But I see it and I love it.